Hello and welcome to Retrotainment. Back here with my co-host, capital C, capital O, Greg. How are you doing, buddy?
What's happening, homie?
Nothing much, nothing much. We're just finishing up our Halloween films here. Not scary films in particular, mainly just more
Lighthearted.
ones. Yeah, lighthearted kind of comedy, but also Halloweeny sort of films. Finishing off here with a big one. Casper.
What a movie.
I mean, this is one that's,
this is a family.
It's a very family friendly one, isn't it? It's not, there's nothing special about this. There's nothing standoutish about this. This was kind of a cartoon and stuff back when we would have been kids. I kind of remember
it was
the
just
cartoon.
it was a little white shadow going around the walls.
I kind of remember the cartoon fairly fondly. I had seen this film and I was like, yeah, the film was fine. But when I went back and rewatched this again, I was like, yeah, that's all it is fine. Like, there's nothing, you wouldn't be like clamoring to see it. It's good to sit down with the kids, I'd say, and watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they enjoy it, but outside of that, you're not like, that'd be on your top list sort of thing.
I have too many questions about why he's a ghost and what happened. And
it's they don't go into that. They keep it very lighthearted.
No. I have to listen to.
I know, yeah, but they don't go into that, so it's very lighthearted. It's like, it's just he's a ghost, and that's the end.
But that's the difference between. I know Disney made this one as well. Wasn't it Disney that made this?
No, I don't think Disney made this.
Oh no, sorry, Paramount made this.
Paramount are in this one.
No, but where you see in Hocus Pocus, and like you see in the previous episode, you see what happened.
Yeah, this one it's just
take the thing, and this one there's just no thing to it. It's just,
this one he's just a ghost. Now they do explain his one, but they don't explain the brothers later in the film, or the uncles.
Yeah,
but they're not his uncles. So it's a strange one. Yeah, released on the 28th of July 1995. So
it's also another strange release date.
Yeah, just before.
Well, no, this would have been this would have been a summer blockbuster time.
Yeah, but you think they'd have held off a little bit longer for the kind of Halloweeny stuff, because I don't remember much really coming out around that time, although I was quite young, so I don't really remember a whole lot anyway about it. I wouldn't remember the Halloween stuff coming out then anyway.
I do remember going to see this in the cinema though.
Yeah, no, I went. I don't know if I seen this in the cinema or if I seen it as the late or the late movie. Is it? Yeah, that's what it's called.
The 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Saturday.
6 o'clock on a Saturday.
That's still going.
I don't know. I haven't watched the telly in years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Critic wise, on Rotten Tomatoes, 40 critics give it 50%, which is probably about right, and an audience score of 49%, both of which I think are fairly fair. There's not a whole lot in this to sink your teeth into. It's a very much just sit down with the kids, watch it, and move on. Big blockbuster though, 287.9 million. Huge blockbuster. I did not remember it being this big.
Maybe that's why they released it on the 28th of July.
Yeah, I don't remember it, I don't remember anything being being that big at all. And it definitely
Casper was well loved. I think it spanned 3 movies as well.
It did, yeah. But do you know what I mean? I remember the cartoon being quite popular. But the other way, when you look back, you're like, oh yeah, people remember these films. This isn't a film that I hear people mention that much, so it surprises me how well it did back then.
Was it not a book first? It might have been a book.
I think there probably is a book of some sort about it, prior to all that.
No, I could be wrong on that, but
no, I think you are right on that. But yeah, I remember it from the TV show, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I thought this came before the TV show. Maybe.
Maybe it did, but I remember the TV show.
They were in and around the same. Yeah.
I remember the TV show more than I remember this film. Anyway,
it used to be on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, I do like the start of this though, where they have the 2 little kids. The real horror trope of 2 kids, breaking into this big spooky mansion, and you're okay, this is a good start.
It's a fine house, don't it?
Massive, yeah. But I like that they break in, and they're both like, I need to prove I was here. You take the picture, no, you take the picture. And Casper comes out, I'll take the picture.
Yeah,
and the 2 ones just for a ghost.
He's only trying to help.
He's trying to help, but this guy needs to learn. You're gonna scare people. You're a ghost.
You're bootlegging it out that door.
I mean, you're a ghost, kid. You need to realize people are gonna be scared of you.
Let's be fair now. If that came up between 2 people in the thing, you don't have to outrun the ghost. You just have to outrun the other person.
Yeah, exactly. So the two of them,
simple as that.
They haul ass. They do. I like that. It just like that's all you hear of it. So they've set the premise that this is a haunted house, or well, like not haunted, but there's ghosts in it.
They said it. They said it early. They said it easy as well.
It's a very easy one. And the next thing we see is Carrigan. She's just like, oh yeah, my dad's died, and I'm really sad. But like, what did he leave me? Forget about what he's left. All those animals and sanctuaries. What did he leave me?
It's very much Addams Family-esque as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The way it's done.
But I love that she's like, what did he leave me at the house? Just a house. And she throws all of the stuff into the fire, and then they see the lawyer kind of sees a little sliver of stuff as it's burning. He goes, oh, it says something about a treasure. And she's like, get it out of the fire.
Yeah, again,
as if it's his fault.
That's again, like as I said there, it's Addams Family-esque. The same way the lawyer is in this as he was in
as he is in
Addams Family.
Yeah, but I love how it's his fault that she threw the papers into the fire, and like he reaches in to get them, but he has nothing to protect his hands. And she's like, stop complaining about your hands. We got to go get this treasure.
I love how in the next scene you see him and his hands are
all wrapped up. Yeah. But they go up to the house, like, and
your man Eric Idle, he looks remarkably like Jim Wilder a little bit.
A bit, yeah, he does. Not the acting prowess, but yeah, similar enough look.
Jim Wilder would have been perfect for that role.
Yeah, well, I think the role probably would have been a bit too small for Gene Wilder. Now, to be fair, he would have taken center stage.
Huge, yeah.
But they go up to the house, and they're like, she's like, right, we're gonna get this treasure. They go in. And again, Casper, he's learned from his previous mistakes where he's like, he's talking to them and they're like, come on out. And he's like, I don't know if you want me to come out. Please don't scream. He comes out. They scream. You know,
please don't scream. Please don't scream.
He's still not used to it. But this scream wakes up he just calls them the other three. He doesn't mention who they are. And then they come out and they just terrorize the place.
So yeah, this is why it's down as a haunted house, really.
Yeah, the three boys are the baddies here, really.
Stinky,
Stretch, and Fatso.
Yeah, I love Fatso.
Yeah, all the names, you're just like, what terrible. Like, Stretch is the nicest of the names, and you're like, the other two of you really got shafted here.
Well, there must be something they did in life.
Yeah, well, you know, you see later on in the film that that's what's over their beds as well, and you're like, wow, your parents really didn't like you guys.
No, not at all.
But yeah, they get scared out of the house, and then she just decides, right, that's it. We're gonna get in some professionals. So they call somebody who is a ghost buster. But I like that he comes out of the house and he's like, nope.
Do you know what they should have had here? They should have had Otto come in from Beetlejuice.
That would have been good. Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, but no, they have. You know, he runs out, and then she's just like, right, just gonna knock the house down. But again, that doesn't work because
no one's working.
Well, all the construction workers just get terrified and just run out of the house.
I'm out of here, yo.
Yeah. So she's left with. Eventually, Casper gives her the idea because he's watching the telly, and he sees the ad for the ghost counselor, Dr. James Harvey. So he goes through the electrical wires and pushes the TV up to her bathroom as she walks into it. So she turns around. That'd freak you out.
I didn't leave that there.
That is not where that telly was 10 minutes ago.
Then again, she knows there's a ghost there. So it mightn't be as bad.
Not in her house, though. Well, she's not in that house. She's in her own house. So
yeah, but she knows. She knows
there's ghosts, but that'd still freak you out.
Bill Pullman was a great casting in this.
Yeah, but they call out. She uses Dr. James, and he brings his daughter Kat, and we hear about how they've been moving around for years, and why he's so obsessed with ghosts is because he's lost his wife.
Yeah,
and he's basically just trying to contact her. That's all he's really trying to do.
He just wants his
he kind of wants some closure, on her passing. So this is what he spends his time trying to do. And she brings them up. So they're going to live in this new house, or in this house. And Kat is going to start going to school here now. And she kind of tells her dad, like, I'm sick of this. This has to be the last time. And he agrees. He's like, if we don't find any ghosts here,
we're done.
This is it. I won't go around anymore. And we'll just settle down, which, a
fair deal. You can't keep just dragging kids around either, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can understand her being annoyed, but they get to the house and they're given. he says it could take years. And everyone Carrigan's just like, you have days, weeks at most to get this house cleaned.
I want my treasure.
Yeah. So he goes in and, they kind of just start going around the house. They've no contact with the ghosts yet. Kat kind of stalks around the house and she goes and finds her room and she's like, great, this is my room now. It happens to be Casper's room.
Of course it does. Couldn't be any other room of about the 50 that's in the place.
Well, I mean, she goes into the room with the beds for Fatso, Stinky and Stretch and she goes, ugh, I'm not staying in there.
It's kind of a Three Bears kind of way of doing it, wasn't it?
She's like, oh, not staying in there. So she finds this room and she's happy enough with it.
It's probably the nicest of the rooms anyway.
It is, yeah. And Casper is trying to work up the courage to introduce himself until she kind of finally bumps into him. And she gets terrified because she comes face to face with this ghost, screams and passes out. I was going to say this to you. Did you find Casper a bit creepy in this? Like when he first floats up the stairs and she's lying on his bed, he's like, there's a girl on my bed. And you're like, okay, that's kind of funny. But then there's bits later where, she wants to go to the dance with, a living boy and he gets real sulky about it. And you're like,
no, I
don't know about this dude.
Yeah,
you're dead. Like,
you're not going to be able to do it for her, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you're dead. She can't bring you to the Halloween dance. You're literally a ghost. You should just scare everyone off.
Yeah. He becomes very obsessed very quickly.
He does. Yeah. It's very, very strange. But
like if you were trying to make this now, that just doesn't happen now.
No, but they kind of, James comes up and he gets terrified by Casper as well. And then they're about to leave. But as they're about to leave, the uncles show back up.
Here comes the lads.
And I love this. There's like the sword fight, but he's also like, James is using the plunger and he sticks it on Stretch's face, just pulls it and shoots him off about 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, you're like, what? What?
I thought these were ghosts. Shouldn't that just go through them? No? Yeah. Okay.
It was funny, like...
it's very good. And then he uses
the simple humor.
Yeah, and then he uses the Hoover to just hoover them up.
And Fatso's face gets stuck.
Fatso can't get down it. Yeah, I love that because he's meant to just be this ghostly spirit, but the fact that he's fat still, he can't get down this little tube. So, it still plays on that joke,
Yeah.
And it's real kiddie humor,
it's easy humor.
Yeah. But they kind of make a deal where he's like, I need to get used 3 to pass on. So we'll do counseling. And they convince him that they can contact his wife. Fatso comes out in the dress and everything. It's just,
Again, it's simple. Yeah, it's simple comedy.
It's dumb humor, But during this time, Casper and Kat kind of build up a little bit of a friendship. He's quite nice to her, and she's been quite lonely. And she goes off to her first day of school, and they hear about this party that's meant to be happening is cancelled because of asbestos in the school.
Jeez, like I don't know. It just seemed to be perfect at the time, didn't it? Like that was around the time, even over here.
Asbestos was the big thing. Yeah. But
don't get me wrong, carcinogenics aren't good things, but
what I found weird was that your one Amanda offers, you can come have the party at my house, and everyone seems a little like, oh, I don't really want to do that. And then the teacher asks Kat, where do you live? And she mentions she lives in the house, the haunted house. And he's like, that sounds great. We'll have the party there. You're like, hang on a minute. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You can't invite yourself to have a party in your student's house.
And the fact that you haven't even asked the dad.
You haven't asked anybody. You've just been like, yep, we'll have the party in your house. Go home and tell your dad we're having this massive school party in your house.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, you imagine having to go home to your parents. Yeah, I know you didn't agree, but the teacher said we're having the party here, so the whole school's going to be coming up. Now, I know it's a mansion.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's a big mansion, but everyone's going to be coming up here, and that's the end of it.
I love how in all these kind of films they have that one kid that's like, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah, but in this one, normally that one kid, everyone kind of likes that one kid at the start, and then grows to dislike them. No one likes her from the start of this.
It also sets a good premise that just because you think you're the most popular kid doesn't mean you're going to be well liked.
Yeah, exactly. And Amanda is not well liked. Now Vic seems to be kind of okay, and he calls up to the house, and he's like, "Oh, I want to take you to the dance," and she's like, "Yeah, great." And then we see that this is Amanda's plan. Now, I don't know, is Vic meant to be Amanda's boyfriend, or what's the story here?
But I think he's in love with her.
Yeah, they don't really go into it that much, but it's basically Amanda's plan is just to embarrass Kat at this party, because everyone decided to have the party there rather than at her house. Yeah, and this is when we see again Casper is like, "Oh, I thought you were going to take me." She's like, "No."
What in what god honest world can she do anything like you?
What, like, why would I take you? Like, this is an actual boy my age, not a ghost. And he takes her out of the window and flies her off to this lighthouse, which is very, like, he nearly drops her the first time.
He definitely does drop her at least once.
Yeah, but eventually gets her to this lighthouse and explains to her that, he can't remember his family or his mom or anything like that. And she's like, "You don't remember anything about your life?" No.
You probably don't. I don't know. I don't make the rules of these movies.
No, he says he doesn't, and then she kind of worries, like, does that mean my mom doesn't remember me? Like, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know. How would I know?"
It's just some of it that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But Kat then finds, presumably, all of his toys and stuff up in the attic, and she sets it up the way that it would have been for him when he was alive, presumably.
The train set and all, yeah.
Yeah, and it helps him remember, and then he's like, "Oh, I do remember my life," and he tells her, he stayed because he didn't want his dad to be lonely and stuff. But this is what I'm talking about. If he stayed because he didn't want his dad to be lonely,
when the dad died.
Well, where are the three boys, like?
Or who are the three boys?
They can't be his uncles, because, what, were they all living in the house as well? And you wouldn't have been lonely if the three of them were living there. And then what happened to your dad? Your dad died and moved on and left you here as a ghost?
The easy way, I'd say, like, I know they kind of run into it, but the easiest way they could have got out of this was saying, like, about a TB killed people in the house or something like that.
Well, they kind of do say that that's what killed Casper, because he says he went out and he was playing on the sled and then he got sick. So you're getting
pneumonia or something.
You're getting something like an illness killed him. But when his dad died and passed on, would that not have meant that he's
finally free?
That his purpose, that he wasn't longing for anything. He didn't have any more unfinished business, and he should have passed on. So what? Like, we're still trying to worry, like, kind of wonder what's his unfinished business.
It's to fuck poor Cat up.
Yeah, it seems to be. But he explains to her about the Lazarus machine, because he now remembers it, which is through this secret door and then down this mental slide thing with a chair that, the dad used to get himself ready every morning.
Oh, jeez. Remember, and it has a shaver and all on it.
Yeah, and it's all like, it's not like it's a nice clean shave. They're just chopping up and down. You're like, I don't know if I trust that no more than me.
No, pal.
No, I think I'm all right. But they go down and they find this machine, and they're about to bring Casper back.
They have enough on the vial.
Well, who finished this machine? Because it wasn't working when his dad was alive.
Casper's been building it.
No, he hasn't. See, that's what he says. He says he doesn't know anything about it. So he's like, "Oh, my dad built it. I could never figure out how to get it to work." But who finished it? Like, if your dad finished this, why didn't he just bring you back all those years ago? Or did he bring him back and then? Because
that's why he's stuck.
Well, like, a couple of the vials have been used, you can see. So did his dad bring him back a couple of times and then eventually died, and just Casper just kept coming back as a ghost? They never go into that, but I'd wonder if that's why there's a few vials already used.
I think there was supposed to be a continuation story in 2 and 3, but
yeah, they just decided against it.
They just went, fuck it, we'll make money off it.
Yeah, but we see somebody steal the vial. We just see the hand come in and steal it. Yeah, and we learned that that's Carrigan and Dibs, yeah, and they're down to try and break into this vault to find the treasure, this unfathomable treasure.
Surely the treasure would be a machine that brings people back from the dead.
Yeah, I would think that's the biggest treasure you're going to find. Yeah.
Right.
But no, apparently not. They want to get into this vault, and they learned, if one of us dies, we can go into the vault, bring whatever it is out, and then
the thinking of this is just
and then
crazy.
Come back to life. It's insane. But Carrigan's like, right, just gonna kill Dibs then.
Bye, Dibs.
And he is not having any of this. He's like, "Oh, how about you die and I bring you back?" She's like, "No, that's ridiculous. I'll kill you." and I promise I'll bring you back, which I wouldn't trust her.
Well, she's 100% not bringing you back, Val.
No, Dibs was smart here. But I love the like little chase scene that they have. Like she's trying to run him down, and then she eventually goes off the cliff, and he's like, that's her gone anyway. And he still has he still has the vial to bring her, and she comes up, and she's not just like a normal ghost. She's huge, like,
and she's pissed.
Yeah, but she goes back and she gets the treasure out of this yoke, and Dibs is there with her. She knocks him flying out the window.
But all Dibs,
and presumably that's him dead as well.
Yeah, you think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but while all that's happening, the dad has gone out. He's gone out drinking with Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso.
Oh, he just gets palatic.
Yeah, and at first you think it's an empty bar, but it's not. There's other people just kind of hanging around,
and they're all freaked.
Yeah, I love that the three of them are like, we've been a trio long enough. It's time to become a quartet. So their plan is like to kill him. We're gonna kill him. And then he'll be one of us because we're having a good laugh with him now.
He's great banter.
Yeah, but then he tells them, how much he appreciates them and how great they are. And for people that are meant to be like pure evil and stuff, it turns them very quickly. They're like,
I don't think they're supposed to be pure evil. I think they're just menaces.
Well, I mean, they were going to kill him.
Well, that was the plan. Whether they go through with it is... Well,
they were planning to go through with it, and then he told them how much he appreciated them. And then they were like, okay, we won't kill him. And then he falls off the side of this cliff. I mean, where was that door ever leading?
It's just the side of the cliff.
Why was there ever a door there?
You'd imagine the easiest way would say the cliff collapsed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like it's just this cliff face. You're just like, was there a bridge there? What was there? Who knows? But he goes off that, and you're just kind of like, oh. And when you first watch it, you're like, nah, he's not going to be dead. Like he's dead. You're kind of thinking, they're going to save him or something. Like he's not going to be dead because that'd kind of be
the lads just stop there.
Yeah, but you're kind of like, it's a kids film. Like they're not going to kill off her dad. Like,
yeah. You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. We get back and Carrigan is about to get herself into the ghost machine to bring herself back, and she's holding the box of what's presumably this treasure. And they're like, what's your unfinished business? She's like, I don't have any unfinished business. I've got everything I could ever want. Which we all know ghosts can say if it's unfinished business, Greg.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. I love how the light kind of like, it's like stabbing through her.
Yeah, it's the vampire kind of way, isn't it?
And then she's trying to go, no, I do have unfinished business. I do. It's just having none of it.
You're done, pal.
And then the box falls, and Casper's like, "Oh, my treasure!" And it's this old glove and a baseball.
Yeah.
And this is your treasure. This is what
the
your
heartwarming bit, innit?
This is what your dad had locked away for all these years. And he's like, "It's signed by this guy. What the hell does that matter? You have a machine that can bring people back from the dead here. You have this massive mansion, and this is the bit that you hide away in this safe."
It's the heartfelt bit. It's Barry Bonds or someone that signed it.
Yeah, it's an old
baseball player.
Yeah, it's an old pro baseball player. I don't really know much about baseball, but it's obviously a big name. And this is his dad obviously keeps it safe for his deceased son. Yeah,
you see that in a few movies actually, where they have one thing that the kid loves,
but you wonder how long has it been getting passed down that there's a secret treasure hidden away down there. That it's finally got to Carrigan.
That as a rumor.
No, well, it's obviously true because that's the secret treasure. So the dad, Casper's dad, originally must have told loads of people that he had something hidden down there, or told at least
Casper
one person.
Had.
Someone did, and it kind of built down and down and down and down and down, and then eventually people just assumed the treasure was, money or something really, really valuable, not just some old baseball glove signed by some guy.
Yeah, well, you never know how much that could be worth.
Could be worth something, but obviously not what people were expecting.
Yeah,
but
it's a great little throw though, where it's like, oh yeah,
it's just this child's. It's just something a child really valued. Yeah. And it looks like they're about to put Casper into the machine to bring him back now again. They're like, right, we're gonna finally this time we're gonna get you back into your real body, Casper. Yeah. And this is when the three boys and the
dead
dad show up. You're just like, whoa. okay, he is dead, and he is hammered when he's dead as well. He did not.
I love how he
sober up.
has his sweater on.
Yeah, he hasn't sobered up or anything. All the rest of them don't really have clothes except him. He clearly still has a sweater and everything on. It's great.
But like she doesn't react really to this at all.
She doesn't. She kind of like, at first, I don't think she realizes it's her dad straight away.
Yeah.
Like she can't believe it. And then when she does and he doesn't recognize her, I think she does a good job of, portraying how sad she is that, well, she's just lost her second parent here.
And then Casper steps up to the plate.
I mean, she's like 13 or 14 years old. She's meant to have lost both her parents.
You're going to an orphanage, pal.
Yeah, pretty rough. But yeah, Casper steps up and he goes, there's only one vial.
Switch.
Bring him back in this machine that we don't know if it works or not. But
it's like a little steam room, isn't it?
Yeah, but it does work, and it brings back her dad. And just as they get him back, is when people start to show up for this house party, and she's like, "Oh, I better go up and get ready." And the dad's like, "Yeah, we'll go up and get things ready now."
Your dad was dead 2 minutes ago, pal.
Yeah, well, he's back alive now. Time to get ready for this party. But as they go to get ready, this is when her mother Amelia shows up to Casper, and she goes, "I'm going to make you a deal, because of everything you've done for my daughter. Yeah, I'm going to make you a real boy for."
Was it not his ma?
No, it's her ma. It's Amelia. It's her ma.
Oh, it's her ma. Sorry, yeah.
That comes back, and she's like, "I'll make you a real." Like Cinderella, you'll have until 10 o'clock. I love Cinderella got until 12. Yeah, but Cinderella wasn't a child.
He doesn't come back as a child.
He does.
He comes back as a 13 or 14-year-old.
Well, that's the day. Like he's meant to kind of be in that age when he passed away, I think.
Well,
I don't really know, but like that's the age she is, so that's what age he comes back as at least. So
she was 18. Does he come back at 18?
Presumably, yeah. And then he would have been allowed to stay until 12 because he was an adult,
He knows what's up.
Yeah, but Amelia, ever the mother, no, you can't stay up until 12. You're a child. 10 o'clock, and then you go back to being a ghost.
Yeah, I love how he's up with his train set when it happens. Like,
yeah, so he goes, like he becomes the a physical human being for the night, and he goes down, and we see Kat kind of sitting there on her own, and she's like, "Oh, Vic hasn't showed up," and Vic and Amanda come out trying to be the big spooky ghost thing or whatever, and they just go running out. They get terrified by the three boys.
I can't remember. Is you one Amanda not in the Addams Family too as well?
I don't know if she is.
The girl in the camp.
I don't know if she is. I actually didn't realize for ages that Kat is
Christine
Wednesday.
Ricci.
Yeah, I didn't. It took me ages to realize that she's Wednesday Addams. Like,
yeah,
I was like, she looks so familiar, and then I was like, but she's also very different to, like, because Wednesday's proper, like,
mental.
Not even just mental, but she's very, ghost oriented and things like that. Whereas the character Kat is obviously doesn't believe in ghosts until she finally meets them. It's a very different
dynamic,
but like she's so young and she played both roles so well. Like,
yeah, she's a great actress though.
Oh yeah, no, she is. Yeah, it took me ages to realize that they were the same person though.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I'm just trying to see there if it is her, but I can't see. She's not even on the credits.
No, I don't. She's only in it for like those two scenes, and this is the one where she runs out. Her and Vic run out, and everyone just starts cheering, and you're just like, oh, everyone really didn't like her.
Fucking nah. You can tell like she's.
Oh yeah, she's the rich posh girl around the school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Amber's her name, isn't it?
Is it Amber or Amanda? I can't remember. She's in it like for 2 minutes, something like that. But yeah. While all that's happening, Casper comes down and he has the dance with Kat, and they kind of start floating. And you're just like, dude, save your ghostly powers here, will you?
What's going on here, bro?
Here, dude, save those ghostly powers. And Amelia visits James, and she's like, you need to, stop worrying about me.
I'm gone here.
You need to move on. Like, you can't be worrying about me. Just worry about our daughter. And he's like, how did you find me? Oh, your 3 friends came and got me, and you're like, the boys held up on their promise, Greg.
They hooked up.
they said they'd get her, and he thought they were joking when they came out with Fatso in the dress
I love it though.
The lipstick and stuff, but they weren't. They were like, we need a placeholder here. We've gone and reached out to her. She's not here yet. We better just hold off for a minute.
Yeah.
3 sound boys,
They showed up.
They showed up. They were there when it mattered. But yeah, she says, you kind of have to move on, and she's, her daughter's getting older. You can't keep treating her like she's a young child either.
She's growing up.
Yeah. Then Casper Bell, the clock strikes 10. Casper turns back into a ghost.
She's floating.
They all panic, and everyone just runs out of the house.
Great crack, isn't it?
I mean, she has to go to that school. So, like, what's she going to do tomorrow?
No one's going to fuck with her.
I mean, back into school. Was that actually a ghost at your house? Yeah. I live with ghosts. Yeah.
She's got a ghost boyfriend. She's grand.
Yeah. I live with ghosts. Yeah. No bother. Very like it's a good ending, because it kind of gives the allure back to oh, everyone's still scared of ghosts, even though he's a good guy. He's a friendly ghost.
They're all good, bar Carrigan.
Yeah.
Dibs, but Dibs is just
we never see Dibs as a ghost really. So yeah, no, just Carrigan's a dick, like, but the other 3 are kind of they don't really care. Well, they've lost their humanity as well, like, because they've forgotten everyone that they knew before that as well. So
yeah, they just know Casper and
yeah, they just know each other and Casper, and they're just like, we'll just go out and scare people. Bit of a laugh. Until they decide to kill him. Until they decide to kill James, they don't seem like too mischievous. They're just a bit annoying.
I know they say, yeah, let's do that. That's fine. They're just trying to get a new friend. That's all. They don't see it as being wrong.
Maybe. Yeah, they do give Casper a hard time now, to be fair.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, like, I think, as we said at the start, it's nothing special.
Good family film, though.
It's a nice
good family fun.
Sit down with the family, watch it, get through it, and that's it, done. Like this.
Like, if you watched it once every 5 years, it'd be grand.
I mean, I hadn't watched this, I'd say, since the 90s. And I'm
really?
not. Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I've watched this back since like the early 90s, or like mid to late 90s, I suppose. I don't remember watching this in years.
It actually only came up on my Facebook there. I think me and Zoe watched it there 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I wouldn't have seen this in so long, and you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm not missing out on anything by not watching this. But if I need something simple to just sit down and watch and kind of not pay attention to at all in any way, shape, or form, this is it, isn't it?
Like, if it's on, you probably wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah, I'd leave it there if it was on, but like, I wouldn't be like, oh,
I don't think I'd go rooting through my DVD collection to find it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, I'd love to see that again now either, sort of thing.
Yeah, now, if they did bring it out for whatever, 25th, what'd you say, 1998?
95, so 95, you're talking
another 4 years, you're talking 30-year anniversary, might end up in the cinema. I might go and see it.
I probably wouldn't go and see it. Like, if you had your kids would even be too old by that stage really to be going to it, I'd say.
Addison would be coming into it nicely.
Addison maybe, yeah, but like, you might bring her, but if she had no interest in going, you wouldn't be like,
no.
Like, we were saying Scream is going to be coming out now for the 30th anniversary. That's something I want to go see in the cinema. Even though I've seen it.
If I'm off, 100%.
Yeah, like, that's something I'd like to go see in the cinema. Ghostbusters, I'd go see in the cinema. This is something I'd be kind of like, meh.
I'm going to see Ghostbusters in the cinema.
Well, I mean the original Ghostbusters, not the new one. Yeah, like, if the old Ghostbusters came out again, they're like, we're just going to
imagine remastering them old too. Even this into like new,
using the budget that you could get for it. Yeah, you could do very well with it. But I mean, this is just something I wouldn't be overly pushed on going.
I'm surprised this hasn't been redone yet, though.
I think Casper kind of had its time. It doesn't stand it, like, Ghostbusters stood the test of time. People still love Ghostbusters. I don't know if many people still remember Casper, to be honest.
You might remember as you said, the TV show, the picture it had was basically the rip off of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I don't think people would remember too much of this, but
you remember the name. Yeah,
you remember Casper the Friendly Ghost, but it's not something that a lot of people would remember overly fondly, I don't think.
I remember. I always have good memories of watching.
Not unfondly, but just, you're not like, oh yeah, Casper, that was deadly. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, for me growing up around this time would have been the Addams Family and things like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of other shows that you remember way better than you'd remember this, and films you'd remember way more than this. This is just kind of, oh yeah, that was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was enjoyable as a kid.
Yeah, and like, even as an adult, you're like, it's enjoyable, but it's nothing to be like, as we both said, like, it's a fairly just standard film. Sit down, watch it, move on.
it was grand.
Yeah. But that wraps up our Halloween films. We'll be moving into, well, this is technically
Halloween November.
I suppose this is technically one, but we're going to be doing 90s films for November, even though this isn't 90s, but we'll be doing other 90s films for November.
90s November. Huh?
Yeah.
Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It does have a good ring. I'll credit you with that one, Greg. That was all you. So that's what we'll be moving on to next week. But until then, good luck.